In this video, I'll be taking a look at the Figma Aqua from Konosuba. Here are all the accessories along with the figure out of the box, looking pretty good. You get a nice array of stuff, as you should for the price. First, let's take a look at the stand. You get 3 pieces for the stand. You obviously have the base, which has this like frosty texture to it. You have the Figma logo. You do have the arm, which is pretty good. Hinges at 3 points. This point can hinge back that much and hinge all the way going the opposite direction. You have this part which goes on the figure and this thicker part which goes in the base, and obviously you can rotate it there. You do have this other little piece which is just to angle the peg right. Obviously you can rotate it on there. So to put the flight stand on Aqua, you do want to use that angled piece because of the hair, and you just push it in there and it holds pretty good, pretty tight fit overall. I really do like this stand. The figure also comes with an extra wrist peg. You also have the included baggie which says Figma, and you can obviously put figures accessories in there. And you also get this set of instructions which tells you all the accessories and how to use them properly. The first accessory I want to take a look at is her staff. You do have this pink extra flower petal to put at the end of it, looking good. Pink, green, and yellow paint. This one, which kind of looks phallic to me, you just pull it. It's just a peg, and you put this one on. You do kind of want to push and rotate it, but once you put it on there, it does look good. There's very little paint. You have yellow, green, and blue at the top of it, and then it's just a rod until the end where you have a little bit of blue paint. To put the staff on the figure, you do want to just pull the end of it, push the staff through the gripping hand, and then put the end back on it. Once you do that, it does look good. For holding it, it holds it really well. The figure also has these fan and water effects. You do get 2 of each, so I'm only going to look at one set because they're the exact same. Here's the water effect, again looking pretty good. You have the ends which look like dolphins to me. Nice clear translucent blue plastic and a little bit of frosty white at the tips. To put these on, you just want to put them in the middle and just push in between the folds of the fan. Again, looking good once you do it, and it's on there pretty tight unless you like push at it. The fans are just molded blue plastic with a little bit of brown at the ends. When you put it on the figure, again, it looks good. It holds it pretty well. Obviously if you shake it real hard, it'll eventually come off, but other than that, it does look pretty good. The figure also comes with this fireball effect. It looks pretty good. Again, you have this kind of top piece which feels like it's another kind of plastic, and then the bottom, which is a translucent red plastic with hints of orange and yellow airbrushed throughout. To put it on the figure, you do want to look in and you see that thumb that goes on the right hand. This is meant to go on the right hand. You could push it on the left, but once you put it on the figure, it does look really good. I do like how big it is. It's not too big, not too small. It's kind of perfect for her. She comes with multiple extra hands. You have a set of thumbs up hands. You have a set of gripping hands, you have a set of fisted hands, and you have these hands that are molded to hold the included fans. To interchange the hands is actually pretty simple. You just pull on it, it's a friction fit, and then you get the other hand you want to put on it and follow the angle of it. Sometimes it's towards the thumb, sometimes it's lower, and you just push on it and it looks pretty good. These hands are the ones that are on her in the package. The figure also has extra faceplates. This first faceplate is the one that is on her in the package. It's this nice kind of smile, goofy look, which goes with Aqua. The hair is a blue plastic, nice texture here and there. Looks pretty good. You do have a hinge in it, but it's kind of weird because you see it, but it bounces back. But when you look down, it's not there. So it's like, I don't know, they cut it. It's weird. You do have the ends which curl up and are kind of pointy, but not, won't hurt you. The button portion does not rotate, which sucks, but you do get nice paint right there. To interchange the faceplate, you just want to pull on the hair along with the head, which looks good. Grab the next head sculpt you want to use and push it on, and then push the hairpiece back. This extra head is her smiling, kind of about to cry. This can be used for a couple of different things. Her being cheeky, you can put the face over it. She's about to laugh. You can use it like she's about to cry. It's just a nice faceplate overall. And the last faceplate is this full-on crying one, which is just hilarious to me. You have tears by the eyes. You have this nice paint at the mouth. It screams Aqua. This is probably the one I'm gonna have on my shelf. And finally, let's take a look at the figure itself. You do get a nice bow sculpt there with the green and blue and yellow paint. You get this white line that goes all the way through again. You know, when you move the articulation, it does hinder it, but it looks pretty good. Nice, clean, crisp. Also on the side, you have these kind of, I don't know what you call these armband things, sculpted, nice blue and yellow paint. You do have the white line, which goes all the way back. Nice, crisp paint. You do have the skirt piece. It's two pieces. You have this translucent one at the bottom and a blue one up top. It is a hard plastic, which I don't like. I wish it was rubbery. I feel like it could scrape the thighs. It hasn't yet, luckily, but you never know. You do have her panties right there. Nice sculpt of panties. As for the cakes, they do look really good. I was not expecting her to be this caked up. Usually in the anime, whenever we see her cakes, it's just like the ends of them like that, the undercups. I usually like that, but you do have these socks which pinch at the thigh, which obviously nice paint right there. You also have the yellow paint at the boots, which again looking good. The boots themselves are very simple, no real sculpt in terms of like wrinkles or anything. As for the articulation, there is a joint at the top of the head but not at the neck, and with that you get nice pivot rotation. Doesn't really look up at all because of the hair, and it moves down a really good amount, so at least there's that. The shoulders do move out a really good amount, all the way pretty much. You do have a butterfly joint, and then there is a thigh swivel up there, and you can move it any which way you want. She does have a single joint, but they cut enough plastic for it to move a really good amount. As for the wrists, they are on ball hinges, so you can obviously rotate them and hinge every which way you want. There is a joint at the top and at the waist, but the one at the top, you do obviously get pivot and rotation. Moving back is not that much, and moving forward is even less. The waist does have this nice shifting function, which, you know, works pretty good. Obviously rotates. Moving forward, you know, along with the upper torso, does move alright. Wish it was more. Again, wish that skirt was a rubbery material. And moving back with both is alright. The legs do move out a decent amount. Again, the skirt piece, but if you use the shifting function, it moves alright. You do have a thigh swivel. It's a little stiff right there where the high knee socks are, but it does work pretty good. Moving back a pretty good amount. Again, the skirt gets in the way, and forward actually, again, better than back. You shift it and moves better than you might expect. The knee joint moves a really good amount, which, you know, again, there was more, but what would you do? Maybe a double joint would have been nice. There is a swivel at the foot, which obviously can rotate 360 degrees. You do have good down movement along with up. No toe joints, but you do have a nice ankle pivot. As for the size comparisons, here she is compared to your average body molds from Hasbro, NECA, McFarlane, and Figuarts. Here she is compared to the Marvel Legends Invisible Woman. Here she is compared to the SHF Fuko from Undead Unluck. Here she is compared to the SHF Freerin figure. And finally, here she is compared to her fellow degenerate, that being Kazuma Sato from the same anime. These two do look really good together. The scale, I think, is nice. Figma did nail it. This is actually my first Figma figure. Obviously, Kazuma being my second. I do have Darkness on pre-order through BBTS, and I do need to just get a Megami, and I will have the whole team together. Cannot wait. This is one of my favorite animes. To me, top 10. So what are my thoughts on this figure? It is a nice piece overall. This is my first Figma figure, and I think it is a nice first introduction to the Figma brand. I did pay around 70 bucks for her, probably a little bit more with shipping. So for that price, I do recommend it, especially since Figma figures nowadays are more, like around 100. So for that price of 70, I recommend it. Even if you're not into Konosuba, you can use this as a Magic Cast user on a shelf. Overall, I do enjoy this purchase. Now fuck off.